Hello, everyone. Welcome back to
Yeah,
Speletons. In a less hot take somehow. Not really. Episode of Bakugan. We're gonna evolve our Bakugan. Woo! 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 Yeah! Diamond evolves. Certainly, this is the last stage, right? There's no more past this. There's no more past this. They are
fuck, I thought of
maximum
another
level. That is level 100 right there, buddy
another
boy.
thing to what we were talking about before.
Okay. I was evolving everything to diamond. Look at them. They're white now.
Uh,
That's kind of
neat.
fucked up. This one's blue. Why is this one blue, but the rest of them are, like... I guess it's blue and
Wow.
white. I guess crystals are white. You know. Oh, actually, look at that color. It's like pink. White. That's cool. That's cool.
It's
Diamond
pearlescent.
evolves! We maxed them. They were maxed. Alright.
Uh, so I guess what we were talking about last time.
Are we?
Just some people have dumb opinions.
Oh, sure.
The one thing I was gonna say is that really does go both ways because whenever I scroll through social media, I see people on both sides who
There,
are just complete idiots. That I scroll past them like, you're my friend, but you're dumb. I'll just ignore this.
I mean, I can, I want to talk too much, but I guarantee you, the way I think about it, I think literally Rick and Morty, where there's a joke in it, in like, the first episode of the second season, where he's like, I see you both you're both wondering how Grandpa values you, so, well, you're both pieces of shit. Actually, you know what, you both sit in these chairs right here. I'll get a chalkboard. This has been a long time coming anyways. That is exactly how I think about pretty much anyone's set of opinions to some extent. Political opinions. I gotta go political. Because politics, and it's why I don't really like to discuss them. Just in general, in the first place. They are subjective. Unfortunately. Even some of the most basic morality principles
They are subjective.
are unfortunately subjective. And not objective. And I am a very logical person. Derek knows this, or should know this, from our debates on whether a hot dog is a sandwich or not. Okay? I'm pulling out that dictionary definition of what a sandwich is to prove my point. I don't really care that you feel a hot dog shouldn't be a sandwich, or it doesn't make sense for it to be a sandwich. Oh, shit! That's not fair. A tomato wasn't always a fruit. They didn't think about that when they made ketchup. I don't.
I say that, Zinker, because the way I look at things logically, sure, it could be a tomato could be ketchup could be a smoothie.
What the hell's a smoothie?
But
What's
realistically,
the definition of a smoothie?
common sense, or, look at things like this with common sense too. Common sense dictates probably shouldn't put a tomato in the fruit salad.
Fruit salad? What do you mean? People do though. Oh, what's
Yummy,
called
yummy.
a fruit salad? And they put it.
No,
People
they
put it in
don't.
salad. Here we go, Derek. I got the
Put it in salad,
definition.
not a fruit
I got
salad.
the definition of smoothie. A man with a smooth, suave manner. All right, that's it.
Okay.
Ketchup is not. I mean, I didn't go to Merriam-Webster, which tends to be my source of this, but the definition I'm getting just from the Google search is a thick, smooth drink of fresh fruit pureed with milk, yogurt, or ice cream. Oh, Merriam-Webster smells smoothie wrong. That's weird. Oh, no, it has a different spelling in here. A creamy beverage made of fruit blended with juice, milk, or yogurt. Okay, yeah, so ketchup would not be that. It had it's so weird.
Anyways,
the definition for smoothie, it's spelled S-M-O-T-T. Sorry, S-M-O-O-T-H-Y in Merriam-Webster. But then its first definition has the I-E spelling with the colon that it's such a weird way to just list it. I don't understand why it's listed that way.
It is.
That's
Regardless, common sense it needs to be a factor into a lot of things like this too.
Common
Logic
sense is
can't be
logic.
the only determining factor for a lot of things for humans.
Well, I mean, the thing about language really is
Which
that
common
it's
sense is, of course, subjective as well.
constantly evolving. Uh, to some
Mhm.
extent, yeah, common sense is.
My point is, though, is morality, I suppose, is constantly evolving, but there is a point where you can reach where you can say common sense dictates murder's kind of bad.
Well, yeah, yeah. I understand that
There's no way to
level of
logically prove
morality.
it.
It's just that technically
That's morally bad.
yeah, that it's morally bad. Uh, that that is sort of like while it's subjective, here's an objective thing. Pretty much everyone agrees with that statement. You know, any person that would do the same thing. But yeah, I mean that's the point though. The idea that murder
with a lot of things politically too. Like there are things
yeah.
that you would think most people do agree with, but not everybody does.
But like my point of that and why I don't really like to discuss it myself is simply that like it is subjective. It doesn't change my opinion. Like I have opinions obviously and whatnot, but it is it's subjective, which means I don't like to debate things that I can't like sit here and just feel confident that like I am so certain I'm right that there's nothing. Like I can sit here and debate hot dogs or what hot dogs and sandwiches are all day, and I will know for a fact that I am right and you are wrong, even if you're really fucking upset about it.
You've only been proven wrong.
What's up?
I said you've only been proven wrong. We
On
watched
what?
a whole video about it.
And I have a dictionary definition. Wait, we did?
Yeah.
What video did we watch on it?
Yeah, you were like, "Oh man, they talked about this guy."
Wasn't it game theory or
I
something?
whatever talked about it.
It was
Yeah, I
game
think
theory.
so. It
That's
was
right.
game
We had a
theory.
discussion. Yeah, but game theory isn't like the source of. He isn't a primary source in this situation. He literally
Yes,
crafts
and neither is
theories, Derek.
Merriam-Webster.
He literally crafts theories. Merriam-Webster would be a
even
primary source of what a language means. Yes, actually. Merriam-Webster is basically the
We're not doing this again.
agreed upon definition of words. There is some subjectivity to it. Like I prefer Merriam-Webster over Oxford, but at the end of the day, they're both around that same.
We're not doing this again.
Derek, we will always debate whether a hot dog is a sandwich or not. I mean, they literally. The thing is, when we first argued this too, and I pulled out this definition, they've far since changed it. It is so broad at this point in the dictionary, you can't reasonably argue that it's not even referring to a. But you can't do like the Pop-Tart ravioli thing, you know? Like it's like, oh yeah, no, we've changed this so you understand. A hot dog is a sandwich. They did. That's what's in the. Derek does not want to discuss this.
Anyways,
He doesn't like.
I really
look,
just don't.
See what I mean?
We were talking about something else.
I will always find a way.
All conversations lead
lead
back to is a hot dog
Derek,
sandwich.
it's a hot dog and sandwich. You can't ever stop. This is the debate of all
That's the
time.
root of
It's
all
the
conversation.
It's the root of all conversation. This one lifelong question, even greater than the question of what the meaning of life is. It's whether a hot dog is a sandwich or not. Get wrecked.
Anyways, moral of what I was saying before, people say dumb shit.
Some people don't think hot
Not
dog is a
everybody's
sandwich.
smart. Not everybody's educated on things. Not everybody has experience with how things in the world work.
Oh,
It's
also
like
sorry.
Zinker. I like to think that the imagine the basic white bitch from high school talking about politics.
Also want to note the FDA thinks a hot dog is a sandwich. Yep. Easily done.
It's like, yeah, I can think of a very specific person from high school that if I heard her political takes, I'd probably want to shoot myself.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, if, there are plenty of people who will do no research. They'll go into they have the idea that they're delivering, like, it's the hottest take in existence.
Another problem that I also don't like to research all this stuff too. It's just annoying because it boils down to subjectivity. Just keep going though.
I do
look into it enough,
point,
but
it can be tough to figure stuff out, or to
that
research
too,
certain
because
things,
like with how the media works
tough to
now
figure out, like,
with it. But like also, it's just like
what's subjective, what's just like an opinion there.
Yeah, it gets like I do
What's
enough
biased?
research.
What's being
But
left out?
I would always like be like, oh yeah, just in case though. You double check what I say, you know, on most political things.
Yeah, I always try to say, like, if I haven't looked into something, I always will say I haven't looked this up, like, you know, double check it, like, don't quote me. But
right, yeah.
Even like when I spout like random trivia on here, I'll say it and then I'll look it up just to make sure I wasn't completely off base.
It's okay, Derek. With random trivia, you can poison the world. It's okay. I guarantee you, the person that gets screwed because of you that goes on Jeopardy, not a big deal. For us, for them, they probably just lost like $1 million and you caused it, but that's okay.
Well, while you're having,
it's only one of our 20 viewers.
There.
Yeah, I feel like that guy that asked pedophiles to take a seat because they were discussing.
A big, like, one of the biggest things that I hate too is, like, I've seen videos online before or I've seen posts being like before where it's like, oh, even children can understand this basic concept. What's wrong with adults?
That's just stupid.
I hate seeing things like that so much.
I hate seeing the things where clearly a child did not say anything. Yeah, kids aren't paying taxes. You know, how the hell? How can they truly know what the world's like?
I was like, well, that's okay, but like honestly, when I see things like that, my first thought's like, this kid doesn't deal with a lot of the stuff. This kid that doesn't even have the mental capacity to even understand all of the factors that might factor in whatever issue at hand is.
Right.
I
never looked at Pyro's.
You have to consider one thing. You kind of have to consider too when people are giving their takes on things, their opinions, their political beliefs, whatever. Consider
the following.
Yeah. Think about like the experiences that they may have had in their life too, that may have led them to believe that this is either right or, you know, how things are, or how it should be.
I got slapped in the head with a dictionary. Told this is your god now. It was Merriam-Webster. Merriam-Webster himself, Mr. Merriam-Webster himself, came down from the heavens, slapped me for dictionary, and said, "This is your life. This is what you believe in."
So a perfect example that I'll give, and I understand why there's there's differences of opinions, but I think, and I've met a lot of people who really didn't understand my perspective at all, even after hearing why I have my perspective.
Right.
One of the probably it's the most prominent issue for me, anyways, that I could talk about like this would be gun laws.
And I actually, sorry, just to quickly, I just want to interrupt shortly. And sometimes, you know, you can't convince someone, and it's because you just have a bad argument. And I don't mean you specifically, although I think it depends on the argument. But like I feel like it's like the thing. Whenever you're on camera, you perform like you have good arguments. But I feel like you don't as often when we record on camera, you know? I'm not talking about, like, right now specifically or anything. But,
I don't always thinking on the fly.
But, same with me, too, because, like...
It just crops it so I sound bad.
I normally get to, like, have the I get to reread what I'm saying, making sure it comes across across clearly. Holy fucking shit. I, you know, but like, sometimes, but like, Derek has made arguments on the channel about stuff, and even I have, and it's probably not always the most convincing that it could be, and it's just simply because whether it's about politics or whatever, and it's just simply because you didn't explain it as well. Why was that important? That was so important for something.
Often about sandwiches.
Often about saying, well, I've come across, I have facts on my side. Some of us just can't handle that.
I think I've only stated the truth.
I mean, I have facts on my side. My statement does not change.
As to what?
Well.
Much more so. But regardless, going back to what we...
Well, there was that one where we what was the one? That was the like whether if we encased the world in a dome or something, whether it was a ceiling or a wall or something. Yeah. and then you like I don't remember what it was. It wasn't, I don't think it was directly related to that specific thing, but you said something like, what if it was just a tower that went all the way up or something? I don't remember, but you said you proved me wrong on something there. I remember it I don't remember exactly what it was. That was one of our best debates. We should debate that one again. It's just hit all the classics.
Debate something.
It's hit all the classic debates. Let's get them all. They all get a second episode now. I really can't attack. I'll just do this. Hey,
Are you
go
done?
on.
Or do you
go
have
back
more
to
you're
yours.
saying on that?
No, I'm good. I think I got everything.
Okay. So
I feel like I did.
And this is of course where I think a lot of political differences and differences of opinion come from, is people just experience different things. And the one thing I was about to say, which I've said loads of times I think on the show before, is just like with gun laws. I know most people I know are very opposed to the average person having access to guns in any manner, really.
Yeah.
And
it's a good liberty.
I can understand why some people. I can understand why, and I know people who live in New York City. I know people who live in, who are from all over the place. I don't know a lot of people who come from, at least from college, who come from the middle of nowhere like I do, and I think that's why they don't understand the perspective I have. They either don't understand or just never really considered the perspective I have, which is, if you're in a city, and a gunshot goes off, everybody in the city is like, "What the fuck was that? A gunshot? Holy shit!" If you see a gun or see something fired,
cops will be there in a moment. We've
you
seen
hear
that
a
at
gunshot
Connecticut.
followed by screaming. Yeah.
Remember, we went and found that cop to assist that girl that was probably getting abused.
Yeah.
Except I don't think he found her, unfortunately, because she left.
Did. I had no idea what was going on.
I don't think I ever discussed that on the channel. I was so worried for that girl.
I was more thinking about, boy, I sure hope these cops don't like yell at me for indecent exposure or something. Because I was like,
I remember.
I was cosplaying the Symphony at the time.
There was a girl getting screamed at by her boyfriend, and I was so worried.
Yeah,
he
you
was
just
gonna try to hurt her.
I walked over and did that.
Yeah, and I actually feel bad I didn't get in
Which is good for you,
that.
honestly.
But it probably would have been best I did. I went and found the cop to go, just in case, because I was super worried for that girl's safety.
Yeah, I would have not have gotten between them.
It might have been better. I don't know. I would put me at risk, but I'm not too worried about me being at risk. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It's more, my concern more is that I wouldn't have known enough about the situation to really jump in. Obviously, if I saw violence, I would absolutely know enough to be able to jump in, but
yeah. I remember the exact situation either.
Regardless.
I just remember that right now because we talked about it. Yeah, go on. This is how a conversation.
In a situation
happened.
like that, in a scenario like that, or you have even like just living in a suburban town, you have neighbors, you have people around. A gunshot goes off. People like if you let's say a gunshot goes off followed by screaming.
Well, it sounds like someone's dead.
Someone's probably gonna call the cops. Yeah.
Someone's probably gonna call the cops. Probably.
And they'll probably be there within 5-10 minutes. Hopefully even sooner.
That's way too short. In a city, though, I think it would be even faster. You know what I mean? Because they tend to have more stationed around. Just in general.
Yeah, well, I mean, like they could send an officer who's just driving around.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. I think more would be around. That's. You know what I mean? So, like, in a city, I think it would be really quicker.
I live very far off main roads. In the winter, it's the school bus used to not even come to pick me up some days because it was too dangerous for the school bus to reach my house.
Kind of funny.
That
explains a lot.
I don't see these cars ever driving down my road.
Sorry. Good bird. I mean, in the game, of course.
The closest
obviously.
Station to where to my house is about it's about 10-15 minutes driving. Probably about like 12. That's probably about a 12-minute drive.
Yep.
And that's the police station. Even like police cars around there. Like, if I called, assuming I was able to call 911. Because there's I don't have neighbors. I don't have any. People hunt around here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that might get someone's attention would be screaming, but like even then, like no one's probably gonna hear it. Or they'll hear it like from it'd be so far away, like they might not even care. Like, because it might not even sound like screaming in agony. It might sound like just someone someone yelling at their dog.
Yeah. Dad, you're taking so long in this conversation. How much more you gotta go?
I'm just kind of setting the scene. So for me,
right.
I was.
We'll just do a long episode, I guess.
Like,
longer episode of Bakugan. I guess really should have brought this up in Crash. What was I doing? Oh, we got like a boss fight. I didn't see that. Oh, water.
Anyways, point is,
well, actually,
the best way for me to ensure my own safety is basically to insure it myself. Which the best way for me to do that is to be able to have some way to fight back to a potential threat. I fully acknowledge that guns don't really have much place, if any, in a big city. I personally think guns should be regulated by population density.
With that to some extent, but I'm not gonna get into it.
I disagree with to some extent. I believe everybody has the right to be able to defend themselves. However, at certain population densities, you need to consider the potential of harming of even just accidentally harming someone else. Which is why I think certain restrictions should exist based off population density. However, that's hard to enforce. I don't want to really get into all of it. But like people who are very anti-gun, maybe never thought about, well, what about someone like me who just doesn't have?
That was what I was getting to in the last episode. People just they don't get your perspective. A lot of people don't have that ability to put you in to perspective. Mm-hmm. Or put themselves into your perspective.
Yeah. Which is why people have differences of opinions. And I think, you have to give people some leeway because they just may have never considered or never thought about things your way.
Or they can't. They can't. Like, their brain doesn't work that way.
Some people can't.
Everyone's brain works far different. They're all different. So, you gotta look at it that way. Anyhow, we gotta move to the next episode. Clearly, some Bakuganing shit's about to go down.
Closing thoughts.
Okay.
Closing thoughts from me. You have to look at it that way. Some people just can't understand it, and for some things, it's forgivable. Like I could perfectly understand someone not being able to understand what it's like to just not have this safety of knowing that if harm came to you, someone would probably some and if you scream, someone would probably eventually come to help. Uh,
Maybe.
I cannot. I don't think it's excusable people who can't possibly understand that a person of a specific demographic could not be a criminal or not be trying to steal something from them or things like that. That's where you draw the line of like where I draw the line anyways of that's an example of like where I draw a line of like if you can't if you just can't comprehend that a demographic couldn't or like could racism basically.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much people who are racist in that regard, like they're choosing to be racist. They're choosing to be stupid. There isn't anything you can do. It's a choice that they are that stupid. You know.
Yeah.
There isn't anything you can do besides like social things. My point from the last episode is people don't quite understand that that's what they're backing, to some extent.
People don't
Anyhow,
understand
I'm not gonna get into that. My closing thoughts are a hot dog is a sandwich. FDA says this. Merriam-Webster says this. I think even goddamn fucking Oxford says this. Matt Paddock, Game Theory, I haven't forgotten your transgressions. Remember, he said Sans was Ness. Undertale Sans is Earthbound Ness. Never forget. That man can only be trusted so much. I've done the math on his Mario Maker video. It's wrong. I forgot where. Alright, bye.